think so. We need to change your angle.
Yes, agreed. I was actually thinking the exact.
But that means we need to move down this way.
So I have to sit closer to you?
Yeah.
Ew.
What a deal. What a deal. How's it going, guys?
Sorry we're late.
We're late. The pro team was practicing tonight. We had a late practice. It's been one of those long, crazy days.
What time
Got a
did we
big
start
show
this
coming
morning? My alarm went off at 4:40.
Mine goes off at 4:20.
4:20?
4:20 a.m. Yeah. Hey Reggie, how's it going, man?
I snooze as long as I can. 4:40. That's all I got.
All right, guys. It's been a long day. All right, so Married Like a Champ, how's it going out there? Good to see you on. If you're not on, sorry, we're running a little late tonight. We had a late practice. All right, so I want to talk about probably one of the most important things in your entire marriage relationship, and we're talking about being married like a champ, right? You think we're nailing it?
That we're married like a champ?
Yeah.
I think we did pretty good.
Pretty good? Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
So what I want to talk about real quick is this, kind of got inspired lately. I've been listening to this, I listened to this podcast, and he's interviewing an attorney from New York or something that's been an attorney, a divorce attorney. He specializes in divorce, and he said that like less than 1% of people, based on kind of his experience in 20 years, that get to his office ever repair their marriage and fix it, right? So it's just kind of sad, you know, and like the statistics for divorce is like 53% of marriages now end up in divorce, and it's usually pretty quick. So but I just wanted to talk about, you know, what is something we can do about that. I mean, first of all, we see marriage, I think, a little bit different. I think a lot of guys see it from a secular perspective. It's like this legal thing that's the state contract that I'm contracted to you and married to you, and you're going to use my name, and I'm going to share debt with you and all this kind of stuff. And I first think that that's, you know, from our perspective, hey, Chip Dean, how's it going, brother? You must be awesome with that name. So anyway, you know, we see it differently because we're Christians, so we see marriage as a covenant with God, where we complete each other and become one, right? So Adam's in the garden, and he's naming all the animals, and, you know, there's just something still missing, and God knocks him out, takes a rib, makes a woman, and completes him, right? So we're supposed to be connected, so we see each other as one. But here's the key, here's the talk tonight. Communication. I've said it and said it. Communicating, right? So I don't mean like, hey, honey, how are you? And we just say our
obligatory.
Yeah, that was actually the word I was looking for.
Nice.
Our obligatory.
We're completing each other's sandwiches.
Completing each other's sandwiches. I'm hungry. How about sentences, baby?
Bonus points for the person that can say what movie. If you have children, you know what movie that's from.
I just failed the bonus points because I have no idea. So anyway, and we got kids. So anyway, communication. Communication is key. And I'm not talking just about, you know, the daily, what's your, you know, agenda for the day.
Because I actually kind of think that is where, whenever that is the only communication that happens, that's actually where the problems start. Frozen. Bam, you got it.
Frozen. Yes. Awesome. Yeah.
So, but I think that's because sometimes the communication goes from, you know, you have kids and you know, get busy with jobs and work and, you know, careers, and then it's the only time you actually talk is whenever you're going, okay, this is my to-do list, this is your to-do list, ready, break, you know, and that's, you know,
that's not necessarily
that's not you know, it's not, and it can't be the only, you know, of course so that's going to happen.
We're talking relationships, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about the ultimate relationship next to your relationship with God. So here it is. Are you guys on the same mission together? Do you have the same desires? Turn on your notifications so you'll be the first to know about these live streams. Cool, thanks, Lex. So are you on the same mission together? And this is going to be awkward with my daughter on the video, but, you know, what are your, you know, this is everything. We eat together, we sleep together, we work together, we everything together. And we've got to be willing to communicate about, you know, what do you enjoy in life? What are the things you expect in life? And this goes all the way from the bedroom, from sex, to food, to what's our vision for our future, for our kids and our families. We have to communicate at a very deep level. You know, I married this woman I can't be afraid to say, honey, what do you like? What can I do better for you? And also, I can't be afraid to say, hey, this is what I like. This is what I expect and what I would desire or want. If she doesn't know that, how do you know? It's kind of like.
And then how can you get mad at somebody that isn't doing what you would like for them to do, or is not, is there's something that, has hurt your feelings or missing or whatever, but then you're mad at them, but you didn't actually tell them what it was.
Right.
You have to actually.
1 + 1 = 1. That's right,
That's right.
Maurice. So, okay, let's continue on this path. Let's say that, let's think about this for just a minute. If you were signing a contract, so whenever you get married, it's a covenant that says, I'm yours, you're mine. I'm going to submit to you, you're going to submit to me. I'm going to serve you, you're going to serve me. So it's a 50, which really is 100%
Right.
give. But imagine going out and accepting the agreement at the bottom of the app that you buy that you never read, right? But in that app, they said, by the way, I get half of your retirement. I get half of your cars that you own. I get half your home, right? You'd be really serious about reading that and understanding that and communicating about that, right? What about the covenant of marriage? And here's the thing. It almost, to me, feels like, the advice that, or not advice, but what we're sharing with you might feel like, well, gosh, I got to know them from front to back, top to bottom. Absolutely not. When you get married, you're not good at being married. I also read something recently, Sacred Marriage, a great book, that said that it takes like 7 to 10 years to get out of the mindset of being a single person into the mindset of being a married person.
I'm thinking of
being
doing
two
things
people or one.
for you.
So my point is this: I've agreed to marry this lady. I need to know who she is, what she expects, what she wants to spend money on. How does she feel about debt? How often does she want to be intimate with me and that I can be intimate with her? You need to know these things. And going sometimes into the marriage, you're in love, but you don't know those things. You have to communicate about them. You have to sit down and actually have candid conversations and say, and you can't be in the middle of heated, sex and go, oh, by the way, I want to try something new. This needs to be a conversation that you have outside of that. You can't just throw it on your partner. And so the point is we have to communicate on all levels, and we have to be on the same page. I get absolutely just freaking sick of this whole, we were married for 15 years and we just grew apart. You didn't grow apart. You quit communicating. You quit trying. You quit, in my opinion, loving each other. You forgot why you got married. Right. You forgot what it was like to be in love and excited and to chase each other. And, I'm not the best at it, but, send a text. Hey, honey, I love you today. I'm thinking about you. I'm going to jump you later, whatever it is. I don't
TMI.
Yeah, I really don't give a crap, to be honest with you, because that's the kind of things that happen. Just make sure you don't hit send to the wrong person or a group text. Those are bad. So it's like, honey, I'm in love. See you tonight. And all of a sudden your friend messages back, what?
We were in a leadership huge seminar, and the guy didn't have his pop-up thing turned off, and it went to his computer, and it was something like that from his wife. It was
nice. Well, at least
okay.
No, but at least they're keeping it interesting.
And that's right. And it was
fun.
really funny.
And that's the other thing, man. I think you should have fun, and I do. I chase Glenanne around the house, and we play, and we do all kinds of, and it's never inappropriate with our kids ever. But I'm okay with them seeing us be intimate to an extent and
right.
loving each other.
You hug me,
but anyway, with that said, you got to communicate, man. And you can't just communicate about the daily agenda, the weekly agenda, or where we gone on vacation, in 6 months. We got to communicate about what's important to us every day, all day, for the rest of our life, where we're expecting to go, wanting to go, who we want to be. This is huge. So real quick, for me, Iraq made me forget we were a couple. I had to be so strong that I didn't let my husband back in. It was hard to find a way to tell him I was angry. Everything being on, as crazy as it sounds, that's what I felt. Yeah. separation can be really difficult,
really
and that's
hard.
why we have massive respect for people who serve our country in the military, especially in the military. But I mean, there are a lot of other careers that cause you to have separation. But I think going into that, you know, you have to communicate ahead of time. You know, I'm going to be gone. I love you. Let's communicate. Let's set a schedule. We talk, FaceTime, whatever, and make sure, you know, you share. Hey, I'm struggling right now. I'm missing you. I'm wanting you. Okay, you know, talk through those things and work with each other. And you know, how I say things to my wife is massive. You know, I can say, hey, I expect this from you. She's not going to receive that.
No.
But if I say, hey, I have something on my mind, it's important, can we sit and talk about this, and I want your thoughts and I want your openness, and she'll receive that, you know, much more easily than if I'm aggressive or mean or whatever. So I don't want to say if you're in a relationship, but your relationship needs to be to a point. She should never fear telling me anything, and I don't think she does. I mean, nothing, and I should never fear telling her anything. You know, even, I don't know, if I kind of take a left turn at some point and do something stupid, I shouldn't fear talking to her about it. I shouldn't fear repercussions or anger, and I should have enough common sense that if I did something wrong to expect that and know that it's hurtful. But your relationship, but here's the thing, when you first get married, especially get married young, we got married 19 and 20, 21, and you know, we're young, man, we don't have anything figured out, but we're both hungry to make it work. We both know we're committed and love each other, but I don't think she ever feared any, you know, flyback or flashback if she ever came home and said something to me that, you know, was uncomfortable. Because we have to be sensitive to what other people are feeling. So anyway, with that said, a little sidetracked, but just make sure you communicate money, your legacy, your future, your desires for your kids, and if there are some differences, I think that's normal.
And it's that communication that keeps you from doing that 15 years and you grow apart, because whenever you do know each other's dreams and goals and things that, you know, that make them tick, you go on that journey together instead of looking up one day and you've gone left and you've gone right and you're kind of going, where did we go?
So, and here's another thing, your most intimate conversations happen here, not with you and your buddies if you're a guy, or if you're a lady with you and your friends. That's not their business. Those things happen here.
And
here's
never with a friend of the opposite sex. No, you don't
awesome,
do that.
Sensei Bolden.
Yeah.
So
never bring in, like you have a male friend. You know, for me, if I have a friend that, you know, I mean, personally, we can go on a whole another tangent, but that's, you know, no,
not an option.
No, that's between us.
Last thing to think about. So over a period of time, you get to know your spouse. You get to know what they like. You get to know what they don't like. And what we begin to do over time is we begin to only focus on the things they like. You know, if we love them and we want to care for them. So it's kind of like we only play, you know, we buy the CD, the album, we download the album, and we only play that one song over and over. What happens? You kind of, after a while, get tired. You get burned out on the song, right? So I know the things she likes. And if I stick to just that playlist, she's eventually going to get tired of it. And so what that means is sometimes you have to rock the boat, change things, do something different, shake things up a little bit, right? But also communicate it. Be willing to ask, is this okay? Is this acceptable? Is this something that you're good with, or whatever? Does that make sense? So anyway, I think the key in all areas, but the key is communicate, and go make the most of it. I know I keep beating that dead horse, but the reality is communication is the root of war. Countries fight, people fight because they don't communicate, right? So anyway, with that said, be married like a champ, be pros. Hope you guys enjoyed it tonight. Sorry we're running a little bit late, and this is not off the hip, but maybe not quite as prepped as we would like to be. We just had one of those days, and we don't want to get off of our pattern and lose our consistency. Appreciate you guys. Share it, like it, love it. Let us know what you think, and go be married like a champ.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night, guys.